Today we're going to learn about lesson 2-4, rotation about the origin. We know the origin is in the center of the graph, and we are going to rotate the figure around that origin, either clockwise or counterclockwise. So for the first directions, we want to take this figure and make a rotation 90 degrees clockwise. So if we were going to draw a clock over here to the right, clockwise is the way a clock turns. The hands turn to the right if it's up pointing to the number 12. All right, so let's first list the ordered pairs. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And we have A, B, C, and D. Okay, A is at 2, 1. B is at 4, 4. C is at 7, 4. And D is at 7, 1. The rule, if you rotate and take this figure and move it 90 degrees clockwise, realize each quadrant turns a figure 90 degrees each time. So 90, 90, another 90, and finally another 90 would get back to its original. But we're just going to do it 190 degrees, so it would go from quadrant 1 into quadrant 4. The rule is you need to first flip your ordered pairs. Y goes into the X spot, X goes into the Y spot, and then you need to make one of them negative. And the way that I remember which one to make negative is over here if I have X, Y, X, Y, and I change it to go from X, Y to Y, X, the clock, when it rotates clockwise, it points to the one that goes negative. Therefore, X is the one that becomes negative. Okay, so let's rewrite the new ordered pairs. We have A prime will go to 1. First, I'm just going to flip everything. 1, 2. B prime will go to 4, 4. C prime will go to 4, 7. And then D prime goes to 1, 7. And remember, one of them has to change signs, and that is the X. So let's put a negative sign in front of each of the X coordinates. And now let's graph those new coordinates. We have 1, down 2, over 4, down 4. We should be labeling them with the correct label too. So this is A prime, this is B prime. C prime is at 4, down 7. And D prime's at 1, negative 7. And you connect your dots. And that figure looks as if it has turned 90 degrees clockwise. So remember, the arrow points to the one that changes its sign over here. So if you want to make a clock to help you remember, XY switches places to YX, and clockwise turns this way and points to the X, which would end up getting the negative sign. All right, now we're going to rotate counterclockwise. So we're going to take the same figure and rotate it into quadrant 2, which is 90 degrees counterclockwise. So again, I'm going to start off with XY. I'm going to draw my clock over here. Again, with rotation, 90 degrees, we have to flip the places for X and Y. This time, though, if the hand is pointing to the 12, counterclockwise means it rotates the way a clock does not rotate. Okay, so that would be to the left. Now it is pointing to the Y, which would get the negative sign, or it would be multiplied by negative 1. So we get negative YX. So let's write the ordered pairs. 2, 1 for A, 4, 4 for B, 7, 4 for C, and 7, 1 for D. Okay, according to the rules for A prime, all the primes, I'm just going to write A prime through D prime. First, I'm going to flip their spaces. So 2, 1 goes to 1, 2. 4, 4 goes to 4, 4. 7, 4 goes to 4, 7. and 7, 1 goes to 1, 7. And the one who changes the sign is the one in front. All right, so let's graph the new image. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so we have -1 up 2 is right there. That's A prime. -4 up 4, that's B prime. -4 up 7, C prime. And finally -1 up 7, D prime. Connect. And there's your figure. It has rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. For counterclockwise, we do not change X and Y's spot. X stays in X's spot, Y stays in Y's spot. However, they both change sign. So they both get multiplied by -1. So A, B, C, and D are still the same as they've been. A is at 2, 1. B is at 4, 4. C is at 7, 4. And D is at 7, 1. When we rotate them, we literally 180 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter, but just 180-degree rotation either way, you just flip their signs or change their signs. So in this case, everything was positive, so it'll become negative. Obviously, if it started off negative, then it would turn into a positive number. So let's graph those new ordered pairs. So -2 down 1 is right here. That's A prime. -4 down 4. That's B prime. -7 down 4. You know what? I'm going to move my B prime. That doesn't let me. We'll go like that. We'll put B prime over here so it's not in the middle of the figure. C prime is at -7 down 4. And then finally, D prime is at -7, -1, and we'll put that right there. Connect them. And there is your new figure. So whether you take this figure and rotate it 180 degrees clockwise or 180 degrees counterclockwise, it's going to look the same. Okay, the next problem says, tell whether the shaded figure is a rotation of the non-shaded figure about the origin. If so, give the angle and the direction. So the shaded figure is the image. I'm just going to write an I for image. And the non-shaded figure is the original. So I need to know, did we take this and rotate it 180 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise? And the answer is no. If you were to take your paper and flip it over, your image would end up looking like this. And ours does not. So this is no, not a rotation. Okay, for number 2, again, we're going to label this original and this the image. Did we take this figure and rotate 180 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise? And the answer is yes, 180 degrees. You can say clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, the next couple problems I want to prove a point to you. So we're going to graph the original. 2, 7, so go over 2 and then up 7 right here. We'll label that A. 2 and then up 2, that's B. And then 9, 3, that will be C. Draw a line to connect your dots. Okay, so we have A, B, C. The image is going to be 7, -2, so all the way to 7, down 2. Over 2, down 2, that's B prime. The original one was A prime. And then over 3, down 9. We connect these. and I want you to tell me what type of rotation this is. So far, it looks like we have just taken this image and rotated it from quadrant 1 into quadrant 4. So again, quadrant 1 into quadrant 4. Remember, quadrant 1 is here, 2 is here, 3 goes here, and 4 goes here. Some people remember it by, it forms a C. Okay, so this right here is a 90 degrees clockwise rotation. However, you can also say that we rotated it 270 degrees counterclockwise. Check it out. This is 90 degrees into quadrant 2. If I went into quadrant 3, that would be 180 degrees counterclockwise, and then add another 90, and you get 270 degrees counterclockwise rotation. So in total, this whole thing is 270 degrees counterclockwise. It would be the same as saying 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so for 270 degrees counterclockwise, well, let's first just graph the images. 2 up 7, that's A, 2, 2, B, 9, and then 3, that's C. Same triangle we started off with before. This time we're going to graph the image at -7, 2, so -7 up 2, that's A prime. -2 up 2, B prime. C prime is -3 up 3. This time it looks like we rotated it 90 degrees counterclockwise, which we did, 90 degrees counterclockwise, but that is the same as saying here 270 degrees clockwise. So if you need me to explain it more, we go 90 here, 180 here, and then one more 90 is 270 degrees total clockwise. So 270 degrees clockwise is the same as 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, last couple problems. The vertices of a triangle are 1, 1, 3, 1, and 3, 4. Rotate the triangle as described. So let's draw the original points. We have 1, 1 for A. I actually want to make that black. 1, 1 for A, 3, 1 for B, 3, 4 for C. So that's your original triangle, A, B, C. So A, B, C, we have 1, 1, 3, 1, and 3, 4. I didn't leave enough room on top, so I'm just going to draw it on the bottom. When we rotate 90 degrees clockwise about the origin, our Y and X changes spot, and the clock for clockwise turns this way, so it goes -X. So A prime, B prime, and C prime. So we're going to switch spots. 1 for B prime, 1 goes in front, 3 goes in the back. C prime, 4 goes in front, 3 goes in the back. And the second ordered pair is the one that changes sign. So now let's graph. 1, -1, 1, -3, 4, -3. That was C prime, B prime, and A prime. This is the image rotating 90 degrees clockwise. All right, a couple more. First of all, right away for this one, you need to know that 70 degrees clockwise is the same as 90 degrees counterclockwise. So A, B, and C, the originals were 1, 1, 3, 1, and 3, 4. Oops. When we rotate counterclockwise, Y and X change spots. And remember, if we have this is our clock hand, counterclockwise goes that way and points to the one that goes negative. So A prime, switch your spots first. B prime, it goes 1, 3. C prime goes 4, 3. and the first ordered pair is the one that gets a change in sign. So let's graph the original, 1, 1, 3, 1, and 3, 4. Label them correctly. And then let's graph our image. Negative 1, 1. Negative 1, 3. That's B prime. And negative 4, 3. C prime. And this was A prime. So that is a rotation of 270 degrees clockwise, which we know is the same as 90 degrees counterclockwise. As for the last problem, I'm going to talk about that in class tomorrow, so we're just not going to do number 5. You are completed with your notes for today.